Hey girls, Maria Kanellis here, author of the Every Girl's Guide to Life. Want to know my best tips and secrets for organization, travel, weight loss, beauty, fashion, and everything else in between? Go to bing.com/Maria and pick up my new book, The Every Girl's Guide to Life.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for The Borgias. Tonight's host is Maria Kanellis. Joining Maria will be AFTERBUZZ co-hosts Michelle Macedo, Tom DeTrinis, and Tamra Berg. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Borgias news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, Maria Kanellis.
I love how he says my name. Can I just say that? Happy Easter, you guys!
Happy Easter!
And happy Easter to all of you guys out there.
Happy Easter and happy Passover as well to all those who are listening, because that's also still going on.
Yes, it is.
So many holidays.
So many holidays, so many things going on at the same time. But thank you for joining us tonight. And Maria Kanellis' book is out. It's doing fantastic. It was up to number 3 on the New York bestsellers list.
Awesome.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She can say she's a New York Times bestseller. That's a
Bestseller.
really, really, really
Huge,
great
right?
thing.
Yeah, that's
Fantastic.
awesome.
And she deserves it. It's a great book.
Yep.
And I saw photos from her party, her book party. It was on Friday night. Jessica Alba was there.
Nice.
Everybody
Great.
looked fantastic. So I have to say, good job. Keep it going, girl. Awesome
Keep
job.
it up.
But tonight we are here for The Borgias, and may I just say Happy Easter again after saying we're watching The Borgias, because this was not necessarily Easter material, but still,
But at the same time, it was
absolutely
Easter
delicious,
It
wasn't
was.
it?
It
Great.
was.
Season 1, Episode 5, Borgias in Love. I don't know how much love we saw. We saw some love, and there was a lot of
It was blossoming.
hate as well, blossoming.
There
Yes.
was let's say it was a seed.
Yeah.
A seed.
Yeah, let's say
Very
it was a
early.
seed.
Let's not jump to blossoming.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
There was many seeds in this episode, I have to say.
Yeah. In more ways than one. Oh, lots of rape again, too.
4
That was
times. I
awful.
had tallies going 4
Oh.
times.
And she was counting too.
She was counting as well. At the
Counting.
very
We'll get to that, I
beginning, we saw like the lady in the water. What did you say it was?
Well, first of all, "Lady in the Water" is a poem by Tennyson, and then also, it just reminded me right away, like Ophelia, who killed herself because she went crazy because of Hamlet underwater, and there's like that image, that famous image of when he found her in the river.
Yeah.
Right.
And then later on in the episode, them talking in between the confessional and how she's like, "I'm here to." It just reminded me of Romeo and Juliet. I don't know. Shakespeare's like way later. But I don't know if they.
Well,
because
there's a
it's,
lot
in
of
love.
like
Similar
yeah,
themes
yeah. There was
and-
similar themes. Yeah, it was very much that that kind of feel to the episode. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was
Absolutely was.
creepy. Definitely the floating up into the ceiling was not Shakespeare. I
Looked
don't
like
think.
Jesus.
Look, because she's
It did.
sacrificing
The hands,
herself.
those amazing hands that you see in so many of the
And she's very like
paintings.
virginal, you know.
So virginal.
Virginal, but creepy, man. Those
Yeah.
eyes, like cataract eyes. It
Yes.
Clearly dead.
Yes.
Clearly dead.
Yeah, so
And it's
white.
great to finally see, because they keep showing clips of the Pope always crying over something, and you're like, what is he crying over? What's happening? And you're like, oh, it's just his dead daughter in a dream.
Yeah.
I was really hoping it was his wife or something, kind of like his wife, quote unquote, mistress, the lady who like is totally pissed at him right now. I just wanted her to like be killed, or she left or something. I wanted something. I thought that was the drama
Yeah.
of that moment, but
I think we're
I was
going to
way
eventually
off.
have that. I think we're gonna have a moment where he's like, "Oh my gosh, what did I do?"
Yeah.
It probably won't last for more than 5 seconds, but
No.
I
But
think
yeah,
that's
but
gonna
there
happen.
is apparently some conscience going on here if he had this dream, you know?
Yeah.
So it was so nice to see some humanity in the Pope for once.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think he goes back and forth all the time with humanity and not. I think that he really does care for these people, but I think sometimes he's clouded by his power and his godliness that it gets so.
It's like
he's so
sometimes
into
he
it.
believes it, and sometimes he believes in the power.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very clearly conflicted about it.
Very
Yeah,
conflicted.
very, very much so.
And
I know.
It's so creepy.
And the thing
For
is,
those
we
of
don't
those
know
who
it's
can't
a
see, it's
dream
being replayed.
until-
And yes,
Yes.
exactly.
and
Well, this point I was like, okay, it's
We
probably
got the halo thing
Right.
going
Really?
on.
It's
over
totally
there.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Like
It's
Halo.
Jesus.
it's
Right
totally
there.
Jesus.
Or-
but what
or
is
Mary?
this at the end? At the end of
This is
this
her.
dream, I'm trying to decide.
This is
what
her
she's
goal.
becoming. She is
That.
praying.
She's
Becoming
becoming
an
that
angel.
angel.
Becoming
She's
that
becoming the
In the
angel.
painting.
She's becoming the angel like that. Okay.
Oh my god.
But she is so popular in history for that time. Like everybody followed her. I'm reading a book. It's called The Sins of the Borgia, and it still talks about so much of what she's done and where she's been, and
Yeah,
you know,
she's
it
pretty
was like
influential.
the typical gossip of the time was, what's Lucrezia doing? Who's she gonna marry? How many kids is she gonna have?
Right.
But it was crazy, and I think that this was a great beginning to a great episode, and then we got right into them being in bed, and
It's probably the next morning
Lucrezia
after
yeah,
of
because
their
he talks
wedding
about
night.
he talks about how she didn't snore, but she bled a lot and she wept all night. Ew.
Ew. I seriously, I go kind of blank whenever we talk about this because it really just, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. And it was really upsetting because you could really see this actress seriously burned in this moment. Like
Yeah.
you really felt like this character was like burned and he was saying such nasty things.
Yeah,
They,
just the abuse
fantastic
just went
casting
on
this
didn't it?
on
Yeah.
this
Yes.
husband's part.
And this was the
He's
most
so
he
mean.
talked. This
Yes.
is the most he talked.
And
so
those and
far.
like
feeling
at
so
all.
good. He was feeling so good. It's morning time. He's gonna get
Yeah.
up.
Gonna go hunt.
He's gonna go hunt. He's gonna go kill
for a
things.
jog,
Do you know what I
check his
think would
Facebook.
actually check his Facebook? Yeah, he's got lots of hits.
Lots of
he just got
stuff.
married. I'm sure he's got
Right.
lots of little like
Lots
you
of
know
greetings on his
notifications.
wall.
Lots of them.
Yes,
I
people
really
poked
think
him.
that maybe if Lucrezia kind of took a step back and was like, wait a minute, he likes when I'm meek and don't talk to him and be whatever. What if I was like a hooker, came in wearing nothing and was like, yeah, you want this? And was
Yeah.
like total reverse?
I thought that
maybe
Yeah.
he would be like, whoa, this is
This
over,
is too
man.
much. You
I
want
gotta
this.
go.
That's what I thought too. But then I figured, okay, what would he do? He'd probably get more angry and just like beat her back into submission.
Maybe.
There's definitely the
maybe.
chance
Yeah,
of
there
that,
is the
for
chance
sure.
of that. I
What
mean,
is this
you
guy's
know,
name?
In a perfect world,
Sforza.
Sforza.
yes. In a perfect world, I would like that to happen. And then all of a sudden, he's totally turned off and like, you know, this isn't gonna work out. I think you're crazy.
Yeah.
You know. But I don't.
But
think
don't you
crazy
think
one.
he's not necessarily being hard on her? He's being hard on the entire Borgia family.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
absolutely.
he's clearly bitter
Absolutely.
about
Yes.
being pulled into this intrigue.
Yes,
and
he is.
it seems he feels he's a pawn or something. I'm not
I think
exactly
so.
sure what it is. But
I mean,
yeah, he's
now a
clearly
grander
not.
question off of the question that you just asked. Do we think that this episode skews more towards compassion of the Borgias, or do we think that this is very, very unbiased opinion of them? Thus far, like 5 or so episodes in now.
I think that the first 4 showed how much depth each of them has in character-wise. This showed why you should like them.
Ah,
I think that without the COM part, I think that it showed passion
yes. Okay.
more than anything. They were like in love, and then they were like killing. It was like love and hate together, and it was like just feeling. So they're like people,
Right.
but they.
But they also were funny, too, in this episode.
Yeah.
There was some humor. Oh my
right.
god,
There was humor.
surprising.
So much humor.
Yes,
It
and I
was really
loved
great.
that.
Yeah.
It was really great.
Yeah.
I hated that he said that he'll keep his marital duties brief. And it wasn't mechanical. What was the other word he used? Responsible. No.
Business.
Business.
I'm gonna
right.
keep it business.
I didn't even know they had that word then. But yeah, it was very
You
like.
know what's so funny is
to
I
the
found
point.
that I thought thank God he's going to keep it brief and businesslike because
Yeah.
you know what? Get it over with, bye-bye, and I will get on with my life if I'm
Yeah.
done
Right,
with you, you know?
right.
So I
And I'm
was kind of
sure she
relieved to
was
hear him
so
say that.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
How terrified would you be to like wait there and be like, oh, is he gonna come? Is he gonna come? Like, oh my God. Like,
That had to
kill
be
me.
worse than actually in the act.
Yeah.
Was the waiting.
Right, the dread.
Yeah, of just being in there. And Rodrigo was very worried about Lucrezia, like the whole episode. He had everybody in. He was talking to one of the cousins of the Swartzer guy and was like, hey, you better make sure that things are going right.
I
And
guess word didn't get back.
and it hasn't yet because
Exactly.
it's still
Clearly
so
he
new.
hasn't gotten
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
He did not open up his email, which he should have done the first thing he woke up in the morning. I mean,
Facebook
come
message.
on.
He
What's going on?
messaged you.
raped
did-
last night. Please rescue me.
I mean, I got that text
Dad?
message when I woke up. I mean, and I was like, girl, it's okay. You're beautiful. Shut up.
Am I beautiful, Paolo? Am I? That's what she, Paolo.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
and wait. Firstly, I want to say that I did some research, and men between a husband and a wife, there was no. It was legal. It wasn't called rape. So, like in this case, it wouldn't be rape because they were married.
Right.
So that's just what they had to do, and there was no. It was not against anyone's will. It was not considered rape at all until like the 60s. There
I was
going
going
to
to say, honey, it's only been rape for a few years. Really.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
And a lot of times it was just blamed on the woman.
yeah.
Like, why
Because
were you
that's possible.
sexy?
Yeah, exactly.
Why-
Which
It's
It's your
still-
fault for being
It
sexy.
still is
Yes.
today, even
You
like in
bring
the
it out in
media,
me.
even all over today.
Yeah.
I'm starting this pilot with my friends about women in the media, and it's called Burnside, and it's just like ridiculous. I mean, my sister was like a women's studies major. She's like rape crisis counselor, like I said.
Yeah, we talked about that.
And the stuff that she tells me every day, I just have to be like, don't even talk to me about it. I just get so upset. And she just like reads about the most horrific things. I can't even deal with it.
Does she have anything to say about how women dealt with it back then? Does she study any of that? Because that would be a
Yeah.
very interesting question.
Yeah.
We should bring her on here.
Yeah, we should bring her on.
Because I would love to hear some of
Yeah,
her
at
thoughts
least,
about
At least for her to give us a little history on, you
Yeah.
know, okay, this is rape, you know, and this is what we're going to do about it, how it was handled. I mean, back then, I think if something like that happened, you know, they kind of were just like, well, you're being too sexy, or you were being like, you were giving away too much, or, you know, I'm sure there was always an excuse.
It's like
Because
so
women
much
were
about
so
power.
subservient.
Yeah.
Right, but you know, it's very interesting, the history of that kind of, you know, that I don't even know what you call like the history of rape. I mean,
Of
that's-
oppression.
oppression, I guess I would
oppression,
say.
of rape, of
Right.
and like your sexual orientations of like, okay, well, I can only do this. I can only go
Right.
this far. I can
Right.
only, you know, without
Right.
it being
Yeah.
skewed to be something else.
Right.
Sorry, what's the number here again?
Jesse.
Jesse,
424-256-1729.
Thank you.
5, 6, 17, 29. There it
and
is.
then Ursula and Cesare.
right.
Oh, fabulous.
Yes. Oh my
I
God. The
know.
electricity. I was electrocuted sitting in my chair.
Ah.
I was
I
like,
know.
what the what, you guys?
And I loved how they shot it so that we saw literally there was an eighth of an inch of,
I know.
you know, membrane between them basically.
I
And that was the
know.
only thing.
Yes.
And they had
that
little
showed
holes in
really
it.
like building the tension.
Such
Awesome.
good tension.
Great tension.
They are so good at it.
Oh.
In the show. Oh,
Yeah.
He just like stands there and breathes, and I'm like, yeah.
I know. You can just like tell.
Okay.
Apparently
it's
he doesn't.
happening.
Thank God,
Yes.
because otherwise he'd be like so obsessed with his sister being away.
Right?
What would he do?
yeah.
He would break his
I
heart.
think
totally
once he
forgot it.
finds out about his sister getting
Oh yeah, yeah,
stooped
that's
in the
gonna be
wrong
great.
way, he's gonna go crazy. I mean, he killed the lady's husband,
For
I
a black
know.
eye.
Yep. For disparaging his mother.
his mom.
And his mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were really honorable about the family, of course. It was all about the family.
Of course.
Yeah.
And this is why the original crime family, as Showtime says,
Right.
which is just very interesting because they really all stuck together, very much so.
They did.
The Pope maybe not have always been like, so, hey, but the rest of them were all pretty like, hey, together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
They were really
They
close.
were. I loved when they said, I have to see you. And she said back, I have to see you too. or maybe it was the other way around. But I just thought that was like so cool because last week it was "Do my eyes deceive me," and then it's kind of like they said it again, and then this week it was "Do my ears deceive me," and it's kind of like "Hear no evil, speak no evil, do no evil," and I really feel like they incorporated that so very well.
Liberate me.
Liberate me.
Fucking ooh. Boop.
Ooh,
Effing liberate me. Okay?
I know.
Just
Nice language for Easter. Thanks.
Yes.
oh yeah. It's okay. No, it's all right. It's all right. I've been confirmed. I'm fine.
Yeah,
It's okay.
you're totally fine.
Yep, the Pope just called. He says I'm great.
You're great.
It's okay.
Yes.
He says I'm awesome. It's
Yes.
He doesn't
During
want to
that
talk
time,
on
you
the
could
show,
pay
though.
for it. Make
Yeah,
sure you were
well,
okay.
I did actually.
Yes.
I did. I made him a beautiful apple pie, and I gave it. It was my Easter gift. I came over. He had a lovely roast. We had some pie, and I said, "Just forgive me for all my cursing on the AfterBuzz TV network." And I was absolved.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yes.
Had a good time.
That sounds fabulous.
It was a lovely Easter
Awesome.
dinner. Lovely.
So I know you want to talk about Cesare's pants.
Oh my God! Come on, you guys. Yeah, I do. As I turn bright red.
I want to talk about his pants.
Yeah.
Okay, he's talking to his mom in that particular scene where she basically implants the seed again. The seed, very smart.
Yes.
The seed of you should just leave the church, just leave the effing church. And you're like, do it, yes,
Do
fight the man.
it.
Dare
and he was
you.
wearing the most incredible leather pants you have ever seen.
I
Like
love them.
I think we've already passed the scene,
Yeah, we have.
Yes, we
unfortunately,
have.
so we can't.
We've passed
See
the
it.
scene, but
But-
maybe we can have Jesse put it back to leather pants. But he wears them throughout the episode.
Yes,
Does
he does.
he?
Oh,
We just
he
right-
does.
we just
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
really
yeah.
good-
Yeah, so we'll just
But
see. We'll
that
see it again.
is
We'll
when
see it
there's
again.
a
We'll
nice
see it again.
sheen on his behind.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed.
That's what she
I need
noticed.
to see that.
As there was like the light of the fire, and I was like writing a note, and then I look up, and there's just like this of his pants.
Yes, it was
It was
fabulous.
incredible.
Of course.
It was incredible. Costume designer A-OK in
Yes.
my book.
You guys, do you think
Nicely
that
done.
he would ever leave his father? I do not think so.
Yeah.
I don't think there's
don't
any
know.
way
No, I don't.
possible.
I
I
know,
don't
and
know.
he said he gave all this BS. He's like, I'm not scared. Oh, I'm scared of nothing. His mom was like, unless you're afraid, just leave the church.
Right.
He's
Right.
like, I'm not scared of anything.
Yeah, I'm not scared
Except
of
for
anything.
everything.
Yeah, except for I don't know what I want with my life. and
Yeah, he's all talk.
yeah, I don't want to be in the church, but I'm gonna be here anyways because I
Yeah.
like the red fabric.
I like
And
the
it's
leather
easy,
pants.
and I get to live with my
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah. See,
all I
similar
gotta do
themes.
is
Back
kill
then, back
people.
now.
Yes.
I mean,
Exactly.
and just
Very
kill
similar.
people, and you're good.
Yeah,
That's
I mean
your,
that
that's
should
your chore.
basically take care of everything.
Yeah, you know.
But I'm anxious to see where that's gonna go. Again, I'm anxious to see, like we've all said previously, I'm anxious to see where that mistress, wife, whatever she is now, she's kind of just on the sidelines, how she's going to infiltrate. Because I really think she's going to do that, don't you think?
totally is.
Yeah, she really well in her council with Cesare just there
Right.
again. You know, like we were saying, planting the seeds,
Yes.
sort of laying the groundwork to do something. It really appears.
Something.
Yeah.
Something.
Well,
I-
it's almost like Farnese.
You got
Farnese.
it right? Yeah.
It's almost like she said it in a couple episodes prior that once you lose the beauty part of it, now all of a sudden you have to be wise. You have to
Right.
use your wit. And she's definitely using her wit to kind of manipulate her sons and her daughter. And unfortunately, she didn't get to see her daughter's wedding, but I think that that's still going to be there. And maybe she's the one that's going to shed some light on this rape going on.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe she's better off because she could do nothing because everyone else saw them get married. So everyone else let this happen and are responsible for the reason why she's there. Like her dad, probably is he the one that was like, marry each other?
Yes. He set it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like, so
So
if
because
her
she's a
mom-
little bit of an outsider, her
Yeah.
mom. Mm-hmm.
then, I mean, if I were her, I'd be like, okay, then it's not so much my fault. It's all your
Right.
dad's fault.
Yeah.
It's everybody else's fault.
So she can come in and be the hero
Yeah.
and help her out.
What would I mean, what was the reason why they had to get married?
Oh, it was it's all political alliances, you know, because the Sforzas were Milan. Is that right? Milan is the territory that they
Yes.
covered. So it's just it's all about bringing together families and
Making it stronger.
territories
They
so
wanted the
that your
military, too.
alliances, you have alliances, and that you can beat down all the others and take their crap away.
Basically,
You can be,
it
reign
was
supreme.
pleasant. That was, it's a pleasant way to live.
Right.
Yeah, and there's more of that in this episode as well.
Yeah.
And then we see Lucrezia in the bathtub with Francesca.
Francesca.
Thank you.
Who are becoming nice little best friends.
Yes.
Yeah, BFFs.
How bruised was she?
Oh.
So awful.
Yeah.
And she was just like, you just tell she felt like dirty. I mean, like in the bath, you know?
Yeah.
And everything was painful, it seemed like. It's awful.
Yeah. And Francesca, too, was telling her to count sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. At first, I was like, what? Count? And they both like laughed and thought it was funny. I was like, I missed the joke.
Mm-hmm.
But she meant
It's
literally count.
it's making light of a terrible situation, basically.
Right, yeah.
Gallows humor.
And then he was like, worse.
Yeah, and then he just kept getting worse. And it's so sad because Paolo and Francesca are like listening outside the door. Like, this is horrible. And they both hate it,
Yeah.
because they both love her. Because she doesn't treat them poorly. And she says, you call me by the name. You don't call me by my lady or, whatever, which is like amazing.
Yeah. And she seems like would be a really good, I guess it would be madam of the house. And she just seems like she could be so great at that if he would give her a little bit of control.
Yeah.
And I think with the injury, we'll talk about a little bit more, with the injury that he had, I think he's going to have to give her more rights around the house.
That's right.
So I think that's going to end up happening. And then we have a very long scene about Della Rovere, and it's Juan, Cesare, and the Pope all talking about, what Della Rovere is doing and has left Florence. So, I mean, I think that they pretty much know what's going on, and they want to kind of get together and stop it in a certain way. And you end up seeing Cesare going.
Right.
To take care of this.
Yeah, because they're on to him. So it's going to be kind of like, I think as the episodes go on, there's going to be definitely a race that starts to happen. There's definitely going to be some kind of like heat that is going to pick up because that Della Rovere is doing a really good job of turning people against him. And these people in Milan were gross. They depicted them like it was so gross.
It like couldn't have been worse. Like if I could imagine something worse, I don't think I could.
Peed on him.
Yep.
Ew.
Grossest thing ever.
And I wrote like in such big letters somewhere
That I can't.
Oh, don't eat anything because it's poison.
Right.
Exactly.
Don't
daily
eat it.
lesson. Don't eat anything.
Yeah,
because it
daily
is
lesson
poison.
from this episode. Don't eat anything because it's poison.
Especially if they don't like you.
Yeah, and especially if it's offered freely.
Yeah,
Also,
exactly.
I can't believe how often they're poisoning everyone back then.
That's what
It's
I'm
like,
saying.
you know what? I'm just going to off them, kind of watch them and be like, boop, boop, are you having a great time? Good.
Yeah.
You're going to die.
Oh my God, you're coughing blood. Oh
Boop,
my.
boop, 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 boop. Poison,
Oh,
poison.
you're in pain.
I mean, I'm
Great.
surprised not to give anyone ideas, and the views of this, what I'm about to say, are not the AfterBuzz TV networks, whatever.
Responsibility,
whatever.
The views of you.
But like that, I mean, I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often because it is so easy for people to do. I mean, literally, they can't even detect it.
Yeah, I thought you mean you can't believe it doesn't happen more often then.
Well, no, like just now,
now.
as
The
people
views
are like.
expressed herein are those of the host
Thank you
only and
very
do not
much.
necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, they
Do you know
can
what I mean?
trace it
Like
then.
that everyone's shooting each other or whatever. I mean, I'm surprised it's not like a popular form.
But you can. I mean, nowadays you
Yeah.
can. You
Yeah,
can
I mean,
detect
you
it.
really can.
Yeah, you can detect it because it's like it's either in your hair if it's gone over for a long period of time. It's in your skin if it's been
Right,
in
right,
your
right,
body
right,
for a
right,
while.
right, right, right,
Date
right, right, right.
Date
Oh,
rape,
those
you can-
drugs.
yeah.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
something.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And I saw this thing on TV about this guy whose wife was sick because he was poisoning her through her Gatorade, and it looked the same as this chemical. And then she woke up and was like paralyzed and stuff. And he was like, "Oh, I don't know what's wrong," and just told her to keep drinking the Gatorade. She writes
She'll feel better, honey.
Yeah, exactly. She writes an email to her friend saying, "Oh, I'm so in love with him. Like, I hope that we can come and see you soon. He's doing so well." And then she died the next day.
Yeah, but he's in prison.
crazy.
Okay, so
Right?
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. It is still happening. Wow.
Happened to that lady.
Wow. That's just wow. Because I think that's worse than shooting someone.
Yeah. You know,
Poisoning
more
someone, it is
diabolical.
just so diabolical.
So
it is
passive.
so like because you sit there and you watch. With shooting, it's over.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
sorry,
1, 2,
guys.
3,
We
it's
only
done.
have 5 minutes until we have to go to commercial. So let's
Okay.
definitely talk about Paolo and Lucrezia.
Yes. Oh, yes. Sorry.
And
yes.
how amazing every scene that they were in together was. It was like they were little kids when they were
Yes.
playing.
It's the rays of sweetness and light.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
bringing back the innocence of
But I
Lucrezia.
do have something to say about that, as I always have something to say. How did she go from no sexy times to I'm gonna bone the stable boy?
I don't think it's that. I think it's more she had that relationship with Cesare, and now she wants it with somebody else.
Yeah.
Right.
So she's ultra sexual, but
Ultra sexual.
At the same time,
Touchy-feely.
the rape is so much about power and nothing about sex
Yeah.
and
Right.
attraction that it's like, I mean, like that's what I feel like I would be like, no, nobody can come in
Right.
this little area.
Yeah.
But he is really hot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, at the same time, she's clearly starved for connection.
Right,
Yeah.
clearly.
And
she's
affection
jumping into this.
and any kind of human contact.
comes on
That's
strong.
why Paolo really is
Yeah.
kind of a safe haven for her. I would think.
it's a safe haven, and she gets to be the dominant one.
Right.
Yeah, she's in control.
She's
for
in
sure.
control of it because he's so
But
afraid.
except that she's always giving it back. You know, he doesn't let her. Or wait, she doesn't let him make her, the mistress of the house. She keeps saying, Lucrezia, and he's going, and she's like, no, dude, we're on the same level. She
Right.
keeps giving that power back to keep them, on a more even keel
Right.
between the two of them.
Right.
Yeah, great episode. Oh my gosh! And then he learned how to sword fight and ended up killing the
Husband.
Ursula's husband.
Again, as the seeds start to bloom. Because next episode, I feel like the lady bits are going to be feeling really, really spicy because we're going to see lots of action happening next time.
Yeah, the preview they gave us was insane.
I know. It's
And a lot of
killing
those
me. I
scenes
want to
we haven't
see
even
it.
seen yet. I mean,
Yeah, and we couldn't believe it was over
yeah, I know.
It went so fast tonight.
so fast. And I remember looking down at my phone, and it was 7:10, and then all of a sudden that was the end of the episode.
Yep.
And can I just say that I absolutely loved the orange and purple dress that Ursula
I
was
did
wearing.
too. I wanted to
to talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Stunning.
so pretty.
And the way when it was one of those iridescent fabrics, so when it moves, you get a little bits of one color and another based on how
Yes.
and a
Tension
beautiful
between them when
contrast.
they were,
Yeah.
he was all
Oh
in
my
black,
God.
and she was.
I can't
And then he
with that moment.
Jacks her up against the wall.
Oh,
And you're going,
no.
liberator, come on.
Liberate
And
me.
then one quick peck, and that was it.
I know, but that's all I needed.
Yes.
I was like, you've got it just once. And then you're like, yes, okay. Woo, woo. And then you fan yourself up. And you're good to go.
And you're good to go for next week. And
Yeah.
we have to go to a commercial.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig will come out.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
In this week's special segment, we are going to talk a little bit about history of the Pope.
There's a little history. Which I think will be a great thing to bring into this every time because it gives a little bit more understanding. A little bit about the Pope, Pope Alexander VI, which was the Borgia father as we see him. He, of course, was hated by everyone, which is very evident from this series. But it's very true how horrible people like treated him or thought of him. His death, as we have come to understand, was a little bit cloudy. Allegedly, he died of, like diseases or what have you.
Poison?
But then,
No, he ate something that someone gave him.
No, allegedly, he was. They're saying that like later his body was like blackened from like poisoned, and there were stabs in his stomach. And basically, even after he died, it seems from what I was reading that he was still kind of like brutally
They just kept
handled.
telling us they wanted
Stabbed
it to be
him.
sure.
Yes, and then he was
question.
supposed to be buried, as all popes are, in in St. Peter's, but church, basilica, whatever you want to call it. But they were about to do it, and then they were like, no, not allowed, and they buried him somewhere else because he was so disliked. So he was not. It was not a good. There was not a lot of people that showed, like important people that showed up to his funeral. It was just not a good experience at all.
Do you know how long he was Pope? I'm sorry to interrupt
Yes,
you.
12 years.
Oh, okay, so it was a relatively short
So it was
period of
around the time when
yeah.
this started, 1492, and he died in 1503.
Okay.
So very short. Popes usually last for ages.
Yeah.
I know.
And this guy was super fast, which
It's like,
just goes
whoa,
to show
you're
you.
still alive. How old was he?
Oh gosh.
Oh well,
I
I
had
guess
it pulled up.
if he was, well,
I'm gonna pull that up again. But here we go.
if he was born in
I will tell you in a second.
I thought he was like in his 70s when he first died.
He was born in he was 72 when he died. 1431 he was born, and he died 1503. He was 72.
Okay.
So, which was really, really, really interesting because it just goes to show you how well they depict the hatred for this family.
Yeah.
And, it's like really strong to the point where he's not even like buried inside of the basilica. I mean, all of them are. But on the other aspect, as you were reading in your book, he left a really good legacy as well. He was a big proponent for the Jewish peoples that were exiled in Portugal and Spain. And he was like, you come and stay here in Italy, and you're allowed to live your lives and worship the way that you worship and make money and do whatever, and you're more than welcome, which I think for 1492, especially after the Inquisition and stuff, that's a big deal.
And the
really
Pope,
progressive, right? For that
Very
time,
progressive.
He
Like,
hired
that's
some of the Jews, too, to take care of his accounts. In the book that I'm reading, they talk about that a lot. And about how even one of the Jews' daughters ended up getting baptized and went as a lady in waiting for Lucrezia. So I mean, he was very
He
progressive
did some good things.
in art and in that, and
Education.
accepting and education. He was really great with that stuff, but in the sexual aspects of things, he was a little crazy.
He was a little crazy.
Okay.
That's right.
And buying things, he was a little crazy with that too. But
Yeah,
we all have our goods and bads.
we do.
So what was the main reason why everybody hated him?
Because he kind of bought his way
corruption,
in, and
right?
the corruption.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah,
he
the
killed
corruption of
people.
the
And also
church.
because I don't think, there's a lot of Italians, obviously, being in Italy, and he was Spanish, and that really wasn't
Oh
very,
yeah, he's Spanish.
there's always a rivalry between, all of the European countries a little bit. They always have this, like, underlying kind of like, because no one likes the French, unfortunately. And even back then, they don't like the French. They're about to go into this horrible French war,
Oh, I
whatever it is.
know.
So, I mean, there's always, like, this undercurrent of, whatever is
Yeah.
happening.
It's
So,
just all too close together, I think.
yeah, I think so.
And then now they want one of the sons to marry a Sicilian.
Right.
So I'm sure that's going to be a big ruckus as well.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so that's our
Who was
special.
There we
the
go.
busted girl?
Oh, she was another like suitor.
painting?
Yeah, the painting. That was
Oh.
what they're trying to marry him off. I don't
Yeah.
remember where
Right.
they said she was from,
she-
but she was busted.
She-
She was touched.
Juan's girl has to be attractive, apparently.
Yeah,
Oh,
apparently. Even though he's a
That's
little
exactly
fantastic.
what I wrote down. I was like,
A
really?
little.
No one cared at all about Lucrezia's husband.
right?
No.
But he's like, oh, well, I need someone attractive. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't work like
It
that.
was
buddy.
very much
Can't take
that
and
way
choose.
back then too.
yeah.
I mean,
Or
he's gonna
the
sleep with someone
son.
else anyway, so might as well just marry the ugly one with the
Yeah,
money, like they're all
seriously.
doing, and then be like, all right, so great knowing you. I'm gonna go bone someone on the side.
Yeah.
Yes, with big boobs.
I hope that's okay
Great.
with you.
I'm
No,
glad
I
we did
really
this.
don't care if it's okay with you.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's- yeah.
And I'm going to tell you about it too. You're going to know all
Yeah, we're
about
gonna
it.
sit down
How
for
much better
dinner.
that was.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You stay in
God.
this room. I'll stay in that room.
Right.
Ugh, bad.
Bad.
That's this week's special segment. Now time for
That's
news
good
and
stuff.
gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, what do the lustful Henry VIII, the scheming Rodrigo Borgia, a youthful King Arthur, and a steerage passenger on the Titanic have in common? They're all Canadian, or at least their current television incarnations qualify as Canadian content. Thanks for that long shot.
The Canadians are infiltrating.
Yes, there's a second part to that as well.
The Borgias, a new series that is currently showing on the Bravo and will be rebroadcasted on CTV in June. The latest European costume drama that Canadian producers have helped finance in exchange for a share of behind-the-scenes jobs and a few lead roles on scene. In this instance, Colm Fior plays Rodrigo's arch-rival Cardinal de la Rovere, while Quebec actor Francis Arnaud plays his son, Casser Borgia.
Oh,
Cesare.
it's
Cesare.
Cesare.
Caesar salad.
Yeah, Cesare.
Now you see why we
Cesare.
See how hard this is?
Wait a minute.
But I just
This
think
is handwritten.
Yes, it was handwritten.
It was
You did a good
handwritten.
job.
And I'm sorry about that. But I just thought it was so interesting that basically the roles were bought. Because the Canadians,
What?
The Canadians put in money for the production,
production.
and they're like,
so that
you
they could,
must cast our people.
yeah, you must cast our
Canadian
people.
people.
Which
So-
is the same
yeah.
thing when it comes to shooting. You know, Psych shoots up in Vancouver, and there's a bunch of pilots
Yeah.
shooting there, and
Yes.
you must hire. Just like if production is in Mississippi or Louisiana, a certain amount of roles in order for the credits and things, tax credits and things to go through, you must hire locals from there in your production, or you must hire the crew members as locals. So that it makes sense, but interesting.
That's a lot like the Borgias.
That's what I was
Yes.
just saying.
There
see,
you
nothing
go.
has changed. The
Yeah.
more they
Yeah,
change, the more they
exactly.
stay the
Nothing
same.
But also,
Yeah.
so how many actors are Canadian?
Are Canadian?
There's three, I think.
Three of the
actors.
lead actors.
Yeah, three of the leads are Canadian. I'm sorry, I write phonetically, so
It's all right. I loved
Caesar
it.
salad.
I loved it. Caesar salad.
You make it work.
Yeah.
I love that he was like is like French Canadian. No. I just would. Come on. Leather pants. That's all. I'm gonna
Yes.
leave that with
Leather
you.
pants.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that.
Super sexy.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is from Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. No Americans. Awesome. We're really talented folk, aren't we?
We'll watch the show.
Yeah. We'll watch the show. We'll talk about it after the show on the AfterBuzz TV
Yes.
network. But we won't be on
We
it,
won't be in
unfortunately.
it. Can't plant our little
Unless I
flag.
buy my way in.
But we
Who's
did
with
have
me?
a starring.
I'll buy my way in.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a fundraiser.
At like $20 probably.
Okay. Good.
Okay. In Canadian dollars, it might be more.
Oh.
No,
Nowadays,
less.
it's like
Probably
the
not.
same amount.
no.
if not
But we
less.
did have a guest starring role when the native people from the New World came in.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure.
As America.
Well,
We did.
Oh.
We were here.
awesome.
Maybe.
Awesome.
We're in it for a second.
How awkward.
Well, when asked what is the sudden fascination with period dramas on TV, James Flynn, a co-producer, says all of the great themes of power, drama, corruption, intrigue, all those elements keep it current. There's something about contemporary about all these dramas that would attract an audience. Not to mention, I think there is actually good old-fashioned entertainment in them. There is a matter of escapism as well, particularly with the current recession and the downturn in feature films.
Yeah.
Ah, true.
Yeah.
And
Very
some themes
true.
are timeless, obviously. The way they're promoting this, the original Crime Family.
Right.
There's so many things that
Right.
you can see that are
Yeah.
still hold true for today.
Right. Right. Oh.
And I just, sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I just think it's interesting on how he put it. You know, he put it as, like, because movies suck.
Yes,
You
he
know?
did. He basically said, because movies suck, we'll
Yeah.
just do it in television.
We'll do it in television. We'll do it better.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
True.
And are they doing it better? A Methodist for the website To The Advocate writes, I've been watching the Borgias on television, but I'm about to stop. The story of the corrupt 16th century Pope that is supposed to have inspired the novel The Godfather leaves me feeling icky at bedtime.
Yeah, it's a Methodist guy. I was trying to get some more like religious people talking about the Borgias, and he writes for this website, and you know, he went on to talk about how he doesn't think that the women of that time would have looked like they just came from the gym and all this stuff. But yeah, it's interesting that religious people are actually watching. So
Yeah, I'm sure that
What are
they
they
would
gonna
tune
do?
in.
Hire like who's in the painting? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
people are trying to look like how we look.
I know
you
it's just the
like
way that
us.
it's just the way that the entertainment business works. I mean, unfortunately, I mean, like for
everyone-
example, like that Soul Surfer movie where the girl loses her arm. It's like, why didn't you just hire an actress who actually doesn't have an arm and give that girl a chance? But they didn't. They hired someone with 2 arms, and they just like, you know, erased it in post.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's the same kind of thing. It's just that it's the shallowness of this town, and unfortunately,
people are gonna look at a screen, you know, then they want to look at pretty people.
they do, unfortunately, and it's a double-edged sword. It's a catch-22. I mean, if you don't like it, don't watch it. But don't sit there and complain about it and be like, we need to change this. I'm sorry, it's really not going to change.
No.
I just couldn't believe that The Godfather was actually based on the family of the Borgias.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did
I
not know
read
that.
all about that today and how it's just. I'm amazed by it. I'm
I'm
amazed that they
amazed.
put it because now knowing that the Borgias were Spanish, and what?
Oh.
Yeah, and they were like, I just love it. I love it. We should bring some more. We're gonna all do our homework. We're gonna bring a little bit more parallels for you next week, maybe on The Godfather and The Borgias.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely going to. Predictions?
Predictions.
What do you guys think? Are they going to end up getting together? Is he going to go away for a while with Ursula? Or
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Are you talking about Ursula?
Ursula, yes. Ursula and Cesare. Are they going to go away for a while and then he's going to be like, oh, shoot, I'm supposed to be a cardinal.
Upstanding.
I think he's just gonna go to her house and bone her, and they're gonna roll around.
Yeah, and then maybe.
And then go back and do his work, and it's gonna be just like his dad. Bone, bone, bone. Preach, preach, preach. Bone, preach, bone, preach. That's just the way it's gonna go.
Bone.
Kill people.
Kill people, bone, preach.
Yeah, it's pretty shameless.
It is
They
pretty.
could do anything.
Yes.
They really, really can. And I think that this broken knee, leg, foot of
Yes.
the guy, I think
So
that's gonna
good.
be.
She
I think
was
that's gonna be
smiling
awesome.
I know.
so much.
She was
like,
so glad.
I'll be here for you when you're in pain. And oh my God, when they like did the crack thing, she's
She's
like,
like, yes!
so happy.
And you know, a
Yes.
broken bone back in those days could kill a person. You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
infection.
So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what happens, how quickly she's moving on to husband number 2.
Yeah. And I
Well-
wonder if he will die very shortly. Maybe some more accidents.
One of
happen
them
with
does. I am not sure if
Paolo.
it's that and that guy
Don't
dies.
look. Don't peek. Be surprised.
Oh, in your book,
you know
they're telling us who dies.
Well, I've read a little bit of their history, but I'm not sure. One of them dies. One of Lucrezia's husbands dies, but I don't know if it's going to be that one.
Yeah, because she
One
has
more-
like, you said how many husbands?
3.
Yeah. And many lovers and
Many
many
lovers
babies.
and,
So,
like,
yeah,
8 babies
And here's that beautiful dress that we love so much.
Yes, the beautiful dress. And I just want to ask one more prediction. Do you think that Ursula is going to get corrupted? Do you think she's going to get corrupted by the Borgias, or is she going to stay good?
She's totally going to get
Yeah, I don't think anybody's safe.
She's already good. Look, she's doing this like behind her husband's back. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think anybody's safe.
I don't think anyone's safe.
Thanks, guys.
No one is safe.
Happy Easter, you
Happy Easter.
Happy Passover.
Happy everything.
and anything
Happy
else we forgot.
spring. And anything we forgot.
Show, can't wait to see you next week.
Yay.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principal.